Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to be making another outfit. This is not really a dress, it's like a jacket and a skirt. And I just so happened to have gone to the Goodwill recently. I had this pattern for a little while. I didn't know what fabric I was going to use to make it, but I went to the Goodwill, found like a little treasure trove of curtains that were all half price. I got 5 panels of curtains for $20. They're all the same, so I'm going to be making this outfit with that, and I have plenty of material to work with. And I'll show you what it looks like. I mean, I don't know how it's going to turn out. However it turns out, I am going to wear it. It's like an old-fashioned costume, but it's the vibe that I like the old school Victorian type of look. So I do intend on wearing it. I'm going to be focusing on the jacket and the skirt. I'll see about the under piece, which is like a shirt, later. That needs to be probably just like a white cotton. But I'm going to just focus on the jacket and the skirt as I mentioned. I have these 5 panels and this is what it looks like. It has a nice design on it. It's tan, and then it has like this bright yellow, almost like a chartreuse color in the patterning. I'm gonna have to cut strategically because I want to kind of try to match, especially like where the sleeves and the front panels and how the back lays out. I want it to be laid out in a certain way, as symmetrical as I can, and I want the middle, the back, to have like one of these main features be directly in the middle. I might not have to be as confined to that when I'm working on the skirt part because there are several panels, and once they all flow together, I don't think it will matter too much, but we'll see. I have never done a McCalls pattern. I've never done a pattern in a pack, like a packet before. I've only printed them out. And so this is a first for me. The pattern is laid out on like the thinnest paper ever. So it's very hard to cut. It's like you got to be real slow with it. Just so you know, I ended up going with the size 16 after I looked at all the measurements. The 16 would match better for me. We'll see how it all comes out in the end. The reason why this was such a perfect thing is that all of these panels come with a lining as well. It's like getting double for $20. This huge curtain panel that comes with the outer lining, which is thick, doesn't require a lining on its own, and then the lining here, which I can use for any other project. I can use it for practice materials, which is what I might end up doing for some of the leftovers of this anyway, because how many things can I make in this same pattern? I might make a dress, but other than that, yeah, it'll be like practice materials as well as lining for any other projects that I might be working on. If you are interested in seeing how all of this comes together, then I hope you keep watching. So to start out with, I'm just taking these 2 panels, which I already cut the lining out of. And I'm going to be laying these out and getting my pieces for the jacket. And then we'll put together the jacket and then move forward with the skirt. Here I have all the double pieces cut from this is the shell, so the outer fabric or the fashion fabric referred to as the shell. Over here, I'm getting the contrast fabric ready, and I'm using what I already have. I'm just trying to find something that complements the shell fabric. And I found this old sheet. It just has these lines in it, tan and then the cream. And I'm going to use this. This is the contrast, which is what I'm assuming means the fabric that sticks out. And I'm going to cut those on the fold. And those are the pieces that I'm pretty sure will be sticking out when the collar is folded back. And then this piece, I need to cut it completely out. And then I'll just have those two. And then I'll do the interfacing pieces. And then I'll also have to cut all the lining pieces, which I'm going to use the lining that was already in the curtain for that. And then I'll also have to do the interfacing. And then I'll be able to assemble all the pieces together. Here is everything. This is the lining, the shell, and the interfacing pieces all cut. The instructions say to take the first piece here. This is piece number 8. I'm going to take the lining away, and I already have the markings here. This is a dart, so I'm just going to sew this dart in on both sides. And then once the dart is in, the space right here is where piece number 9 is going to go. Over here, this is piece number 9. I'm going to put the interfacing on. The instructions say to use stitch in interfacing, but I have iron on, so I'm going to iron the interfacing to the back of these pieces. It's going to be on the wrong side like that. And once those pieces are ironed on, these will be attached to this piece over here. It looks like it's probably going to be like this because the jacket kind of bends out. I'm going to do those steps now. These pieces are connected now, piece number 8 and piece number 9. Next, we're going to go to the center back pieces. And here are the center back pieces. All I have to do is place this one on top, right sides together, and sew straight down. And then the instructions say to do a stay stitch down the side here, and that's just a straight stitch that goes in the piece to keep it from moving around or stretching out too much. I'll do the attaching stitch and the stay stitches next. And here are those two back pieces sewed together. I tried to get it as even as I could. This isn't too bad. It's not perfect here, but this part looks a little bit better. And then right in the middle, it kind of looks all right. Now we're going to go to piece number 12. These two pieces, this is the middle back. They're upside down right here. These pieces are going to get sewed into here like that and like that where the curve is. I'll pin everything this way, pin everything over there, and then sew it together. I'm actually going to be clipping it. This is piece 13. These are the side back pieces. These are going to be attached next. And these will get attached like so to the middle back pieces. Now the instructions talk about this embroidery, because on here it has like some little decorative lines. They're calling it soutache. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but this is the word right here. I'm not adding any buttons. I'm not adding any soutache, whatever. And it's also saying to put that on the back. It doesn't show a picture of the back. I wish it did. It kind of shows it here. So that's what it would look like on the back if you were to add the decorative stuff. But I'm not doing that. As you can see, this is already decorated. So Next is just to add the front pieces, which are the ones we were first working on. I'm going to add these on now. It says to attach them at the shoulders and the side seams. I'll come back when these are attached. Okay, this is where it's going to get a tiny bit complicated because this is supposed to be made with sewing interfacing and I'm using ironing interfacing. But I'm going to try to proceed anyway. I'm supposed to stay stitch around the collar from this dot over to this dot, then pin the interfacing into this collar. I'm not exactly sure on this, so I'm going to have to try to figure it out. First I'm going to do the stay stitch and then I'll proceed from there. I'm not really going to explain it. I'll just show it because I don't really know what I'm doing and this is not really part of the instructions, but it's just the way I'm doing it. I'm classifying this as a tutorial technically, but technically it's not because I'm not following the directions precisely. Either way, I'm expecting a good outcome though, so let's keep going. Okay, reading over this collar instruction almost had me in tears. Just want to say that. I ironed the interfacing on. Now it's showing this is the right side out. Interfacing is ironed to the back. And I'm going to sew these two pieces together now with the right side facing each other. Yes, right sides facing each other. I'm going to sew straight here, down, and then up, and then over. And then this will get flipped out so that the right side of the lining is going to be showing on both sides. And then this gets attached to the neckline of the jacket. There it is, out. Nice sharp corners. It's ironed, it's nice and crisp. And with the interface side facing up, I'm gonna pin this to the neckline of the jacket. Actually, I'm gonna clip it. I keep saying pin, but I'm actually clipping. And the collar goes in between the two dots that are already placed on the jacket, and that'll be clipped all the way around. I will add that stitch in next and then proceed to the next step, which is to work on the lining. And here's the collar stitched on. Here is piece number 17 and the interfacing that goes with it. I'm going to iron the interfacing onto these two pieces and then proceed with the steps to line everything. The only thing left are the two pieces for the sleeve and the lining. Finishing up the lining now. And here are those pieces with the interfacing attached. These get sewed to piece number 8 of the lining. This is the same piece as the shell, but for the lining, some of it gets trimmed down. Here's the pattern. It's actually going to be cut down by this on this line here. And now this is the part that's going to be attached here. Here's the lining. I'm literally just repeating the same steps that I did for the shell on the lining. This is all going to get attached together. Then those will be attached to these two front panels. These are the contrast parts that are going to be folded out when the collar gets folded out, and then this is the front part of the lining. All of this will get attached to that back piece. I'll come back once the front and the back are all connected together. Here is the lining all attached. I'm going to attach it right sides together to this part here at the shoulders and the side seams. Now this is all sewed together, and I'm going to lay it right sides together with the main jacket. The collar piece is going to be folded down, and everything is going to be lined up and pinned or clipped. And I'm going to sew all the way around from the bottom on the side all the way up around this little tip, around this way up to this one, and then down the side. The bottom, the whole bottom half will stay open. Okay, everything is closed up all the way around. Here's what the collar part looks like with the lining. This is what the inside looks like. And then down the side. I'm gonna do the trims that I need to do. I'm gonna baste around these armholes so that the lining and everything is intact. And then I'll start working on the sleeve, and then I'll attach the sleeves and then do the hem. For the sleeves, we're just gonna attach the undersleeve to the upper sleeve. So this is considered the upper sleeve, and this little one is the undersleeve. And they're gonna be attached together like this, right sides together, and just sewed straight down the sides. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the lining, and then I'll combine the lining with the shell and then add the sleeves to the jacket. I decided to do a bubble cuff. Here are the skirt pieces. The skirt is supposed to be sewed with these pieces separate and then attached later. But because I'm not going to make this pattern exactly the way it is in the picture, I'm just going to make this one continuous piece. This will be one continuous piece. And then these two are supposed to be the side front and side back. And then underneath is supposed to be a pleated section. But I'm not going to do the pleated section, so I'm just going to continue these pieces so that they are the same length as these two here. Then this one is like a little bias strip. That's going to be on the same fabric. And then this is the waistband. This will be on contrasting fabric, which is going to be the same stripes that I put on the jacket. So I'm just going to cut those pieces and assemble a skirt. I'm not following the instructions, and the instructions are driving me absolutely insane because I do not understand what they're telling me to do. But I'm just modifying this anyway, so I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. I'll just show you each step as I've completed it. You'll see the final reveal. It's very frustrating. I'm not going to probably do another pattern like this. Actually, I have another pattern from Vogue. This one is McCalls. I have another one from Vogue that I really, really like, so I kind of want to try it. But other than that, I'm all set with these types of patterns here. This is not for me. All right, so here we go. Here are the skirt pieces. This is the middle. This is supposed to be two pieces, but I cut it on the fold and took away some of the seam allowance because I just wanted the middle to be easier, since I'm not making it the original way, to make the middle just be one even piece so that I can have the same pattern in the middle. Then I couldn't make one long strip for these two pieces, so I had to cut them separately in order to make them symmetrical. And I didn't want to cut into another curtain. And then that piece is technically part of the back of it, but I'm going to combine these all right now. And then there's two more pieces. The center back pieces need to be added. So I'll combine them now, and then I'll combine the back two pieces right after. Here is the jacket. Technically, the collar is supposed to be out, but I'm actually planning on modifying this because I don't really like this pointed collar. Again, this is supposed to be like a costume, so I think they like it like this because of the costume aspect. I want to wear this from day to day, so I'm getting rid of this part. Just want to show you what it looks like. And I don't remember if I explained this already, but I made a mistake somehow. The instructions are hideous, in my opinion, because I don't understand them. So I'm pretty sure they're great for some people, but for me. So this is supposed to be on this part to contrast both of those areas. Now that I'm saying it, I feel like I did say that already. So I don't really care for this part. I mean, it's okay. But I'm kind of thinking it would be cuter if this was in, you know, like without those pieces. This is what I'm considering now because it already has a collar. And I'm going to just tuck it in the way I just had it, kind of like in here like this. And then I'll just smooth it down and then do a top stitch. Of course it'll be neater, but that's the look I think I'm gonna go for. And then I'm gonna add the little puff pieces, the little bubbles. I'm gonna add those on, and then the jacket should be all done. Here's the back. Oh, I do have to hem it still. I wanted to make sure I was satisfied with all the interior parts because I had to update the darts a little bit. Now I'm gonna just finalize this, and then I did hem the skirt. Everything's looking good there. I'm just going to put these pieces together with a shirt underneath. I'm not going to make the shirt that goes with this. Final reveal coming up next. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.